Hey there, it's Pete C for Sample Library Review, and today I'm checking out Ethera Gold Atlantis by Zero G. The latest addition to the acclaimed Ethera series, Ethera Gold Atlantis, has arrived after much anticipation. With every release, Stefano Maccarelli sets the bar higher and higher and is once again working with Clara Sarace, who is not only extremely versatile and cinematic, but also one of the most beautiful voices ever sampled. In previous volumes we have seen smaller additions to the series in Sahara voices and intimate vocals, yet Ethera Gold Atlantis has gone one step further. It is perfect for fantasy, Celtic, emotional and medieval vocals. Are these cinematic vocals you absolutely need? Let's take a look. Ethera Gold Atlantis downloads at 5.94 gigabytes and is sampled at 24-bit and 48K. There are 6 instruments in total, with 2 true legato vocals with 7 articulations. There are over 1,000 vocal phrases and a phrase builder, and it requires contact full 6.6.1 or better. Normally, Ethera Gold Atlantis sells for $59.95. There is also a loyalty discount if you own other Ethera titles. So here we have the first instrument in Ethera Gold Atlantis. So I've loaded up the Atlantis Romantic True Legato, and we're going to go through all 6 instruments. But straight away, the GUI is really striking, very cinematic, and really straightforward. So let's just hear what it sounds like. So very expressive. Now, one thing I love about the Ethera Gold series especially is the true legato. So it's not sort of manufactured of force. Every transition has been recorded, which is why there's so many vocal samples. And it just sounds like Clara is in front of you singing and being recorded. And there is a very small amount of reverb on there, but with the effects rack you can change that, and there is a convolution reverb, so you can go as big as you want. We're going to look at those later. I have to admit, I do use the Ethera series a lot for my epic composing, and yeah, I am guilty of putting on a lot of reverb, and they do sound brilliant. So yeah, now this is romantic legato. Normally you would change articulation with this button here, but there's only one on this instrument. And what you can see are, depending on the velocity I play, so there are 2 different types of legato going on. Now you can change the attack, so if you want a longer attack, and you can also adjust the volume. I don't need to, as I've set the levels correctly, but when you're working on a project, that's really handy. And there are different types of legato in terms of legato speed. So you have slow legato, And then you can change that to mid legato. And then fast legato. And you can hear some overlap there, and that is really down to my playing. If I make sure that I've got the note press and then do the transition to engage legato. Obviously there's no overlap. If I don't, you can hear it doesn't quite connect. So you've got to make sure that you are holding the notes down, just like any instrument doing legato. Now, we can have it in stereo. So it sounds a bit wider, and then also you can have a release on. So you can hear you got a bit more of a release. And sometimes there's a breath there as well. There you go. So another fantastic legato to go with the rest of the legatos that the Ethera series has. And then let's just move on to the Atlantis True Legato. So it works in exactly the same way. And if I was to use the mod wheel for a bit more expression. So to the left of the blue keys, you've got the red key switches, and you can change the articulation. So here's the... and then the soft R. And that range is absolutely incredible. So we've got a low G up to a high A. And that expression is incredible. I've got to go from that A to that octave lower. Yeah, some really cool legato going on there. And then let's do it this way instead. Ich. I'm doing very good at these phonetics. Very well, sorry, I should say. And now we have the phonemes. And there's two sets of those. So just going to move the pointer out of the way. You can really hear that legato in play. It just sounds awesome. So that's fantastic. Now I am going to go back to the soft R's, and if you click on the effects rack, I've already said that I really like using big reverbs. So if I go onto, let's just go Space Hall, and the reverbs don't cloud the original sound. Of course you can adjust these to taste, but they just add instant cinema. And you don't have to have that massive reverb if you don't want to. If I go to Death Room, for example, it's really close and dry. Went a little bit too far there. And then you've got a whole sort of bunch of effects you can add. So I'm just going to go back to the large church, and you can add some chorus using modulation. And you can change that to flanger. Or you can add a phaser. And then we have different distortion. Now, yeah, I'm going to add some tape actually. Then if I go distortion. Pretty cool. Screamer. And then you can just go for a lo-fi effect. And why not? They could add some delays. Okay, it's only clicking because I turned up the rate while I was holding a note down. I think that in stereo sound pretty awesome. Awesome. Then you have a bunch of amplifier options. Twang. And then same with some cabinets as well. So all these different cabinets. I'm not going to play through all of them, but so you can drastically change the sort of timbre of Clara's voice. And that's the effects rack. So yeah, another fantastic Legato. And I have to admit, as soon as I got a review copy, I put it straight onto a track and it sounded absolutely brilliant. Yeah, so we now have the sustains, and the sustains are really, really cool. So on the left hand side, it's good, bring it up a bit. So we have our sustain instrument, and then we have again articulations on the right with the key switches. If I just play the purple keys, there's a different key switchable phrase. So let's say I'll stick with that one. pretty cool. Let's change it. So you can create some really cool phrases. Now, the lower I go, you can hear that's quite a resonant bass. So again, you can create some sort of moods straight out of the box and just, you know, have a bit of fun playing around this really cool sustain instrument. And there we go. Yeah, so that's the sustains. Now, the Phonemes Builder we have there. If you click on the builder, you can build. Oops. So green key for key switches. And you can build phrases. So I'm just randomizing at the moment. Oops. So you build the syllables up here, and you can select which ones you use, and then use the green key switch to advance to the next sort of set of syllables. You can change the length. So I'm using 4 sets there. We could use all 16 if you want to. So there were quite a few of the same syllable there, but there's plenty to choose from. So yeah, really, really cool instrument. And then again, you can add same effects. And then the next instrument we have are the vocal phrases, and there are over 1,000 of these. And I use these a lot. I don't mind admitting it, because they are so good. Now, if I click on the sort of selector in the middle, now these are the Atlantis vocal phrases. So let's say our project's in 90 BPM, or it's close to 90. This will tempo like sync to your project. And you can have a drone down the bottom. So that's only the first bank of phrases. Now at the top, there's like a ethereal sustain. So again, you can just hold down a chord, so we're in C minor. Yeah, absolutely perfect. So that's the C minor phrases. Now, obviously, they're all recorded to tempo. If I was go to some big reverb. And then let's go 120. And you can have the release either on or off. And it's really, really useful to have as you're building phrases together. You can actually hear the release is like a breath or a sigh. So if you want to put the breathing effects in, it's really, really cool. And for as long as you hold that MIDI down, when that stops, that's when that release will happen. Or you can have it off completely. And there's no release there. So yeah, again, really, really useful. And then we have major phrases as well. So we've got a couple of D minor phrases. And then let's go for some phrases in 3/4. So always really useful. And then let's just go for some major E major phrases. And the toolkit, C minor, D minor, E minor, F minor. So the yellow one's a C minor. If you want to go to D minor, the red one's a D minor, and then green one's a E minor. And then the purple ones are F minor. F. Actually, is it F minor? Yeah, F minor. And then the rest of the keys are there: G minor, A minor, and B minor. And there we go. So that is the vocal phrase instrument. And then finally, you have the same vocal phrases, but they are reversed. So when you put the pad under that, just get some really haunting atmospheres. Yeah, and then again, you got all the phrases, all the options in, let's just go major, in reverse. So I'm just throwing a load in there, and you can change the length of the sample as well, just by using that slider. It works in forward samples as well. So that is everything that is in Ethera Gold Atlantis. My final thoughts, well, value for money really springs to mind. Now, as a vocal instrument, it is absolutely incredible. And it's a really good companion to the original Ethera Gold. Ethera Gold has got this absolute power and epic vocal. But this has the romantic true legato is absolutely gorgeous. Again, I was going to put some big reverb on, just because I really like it. And you can just spend ages. Just going through the dynamic ranges and playing different melodies, but it fits perfectly into productions. So I use it in a lot of heavy orchestral music, like hybrid music, and the vocals just cut through. And they are powerful, but they're not as powerful as the Ethera Gold. So it's a great sort of middle ground, and this, really reaches the levels of emotion that Ethera Gold doesn't. So I really recommend having all these working together. And of course, the Sahara voices, which I did review a while ago, is just, out of this world. And the intimate voices as well, which is, a very sort of small add-on, but really sort of bridges a lot of gaps in the Ethera Gold collection. So yeah, value for money. Well, you get 6 really, really cool instruments. You could sort of create cinematic compositions using just this instrument. So having the, if I just quickly open, having like the drone, I mean, that's an instant opener for any dramatic or cinematic cue. Or you could just have like sort of that going on and building soundscapes, especially in reverse. I absolutely love the reverse vocal phrases. So 6 instruments, 2 types of true legato, and then of course you have all of these different articulations, and then with the vocal phrases you have over 1,000 vocal phrases. I mean, for $59.95 retail, and then it's on intro price at the moment, and you can get an Ethera discount. the value for money is incredible. But what's really important is that the sampling is absolutely stunning. How quickly everything works. So, like, you know, the loading times are virtually non-existent. The memory footprint is really tiny. But as soon as you hit a key, it can fit into your project straight away. The controls are really straightforward. So legato, sync, release, all the dials down here, and inbuilt effects. You know, it is a phenomenal instrument, especially for the money. And I have to admit, Ethera Gold, sort of like the sort of big full instrument at over 30 gigabytes, that really is value for money. Instruments like Elements. So Stefano is doing an incredible job bringing all these amazing cinematic instruments to us at not ridiculously high prices. In fact, the prices are incredibly reasonable. So do I think you need these vocals? For me, definitely. If you own other Ethera titles, it's, you know, a no-brainer. It just completes the Ethera set, as it were. If you don't and you need phrases and a really strong vocal instrument with a great legato, it is fantastic. But I do highly recommend sort of combining all the Ethera instruments together, and you're going to have some amazing results. So has it set the bar higher? Yeah, it really has. It's just a more expressive instrument. Sounds, like I say, brilliant in the mix, and it's another vocal instrument that I'm going to be using a lot of. So all that leaves me to say is thank you so much for checking out the amazing Ethera Gold Atlantis from 0G. If you like what you heard, feel free to leave a like on the video and drop us a comment. How do you use the instrument? What do you like about it? If you've not done so already, please subscribe to our channel, and then head over to samplelibrareview.com to check out everything in the world of virtual instruments. Until next time, have a great day, and I'm sure we will speak again soon. Take care.